Good morning everyone, and good morning to you, Dr. Ramos. I am going to report about the topic, Define Heroes and Allegories. First, let's discuss the Greek gods and their Roman equivalent. First is Zeus, and his Roman equivalent is Jupiter. So as we can see in the first picture, this is Zeus, and the second one is the planet Jupiter. They are both known as the king of the gods, sky, weather, law and order, destiny and fate, and also kingship. And their symbol is lightning bolt. Their sacred animals are eagle and bull, and their sacred plants are oak tree and olive tree. So as we can see in the first picture, this is the oak tree, and the second one is the olive tree. But their difference is that Jupiter is also known as the god of light and victory, but Zeus is not. Next, let's discuss Hera and her equivalent in the Roman mythology, Juno. They are both known as the goddess of marriage. In the first picture, as we can see, this is Hera holding her royal scepter, and then in the second picture, this is the Juno, one of the sign in the astrology. Then Hera and Juno are known also as the goddess of sky and queen of the gods because they are the wife of the king of the gods, Zeus and Jupiter. Then next is their royal scepter as their symbol. Sacred animals are cow, lion, and cuckoo or peacock. And then their sacred plants is pomegranate. In the first picture, as we can see, this is the royal scepter, and the second one is the pomegranate. One way that they were different is that Juno is also known as the goddess of moon, but Hera is not. Next, god Poseidon, and his Roman equivalent is Neptune. In the first picture, this is Poseidon, and Neptune is the second picture, one of the planets in the solar system. So, they are both known as the god of sea or king of the sea, earthquakes, floods, or horses. Their symbol is trident. Sacred animal is bull, horse, and dolphin. Their sacred plants are pine tea and wild celery. So, as we can see in the first picture, this is the pine tree, and the next one is the wild celery. One way that they were different was that Neptune was originally the Roman god of water, but Roman mythology changed and expanded his kingdom to the whole sea. That is their difference. The next one is Demeter, or in the Roman mythology called Ceres. She is the goddess of harvest. They are both known as the goddess of grain, bread, and agriculture. Their symbols are sheaf of grain and cornucopia. Their sacred animals are snake and pig, and their sacred plants are wheat, mint, and poppy. So what are cornucopia and poppy? This is the example of cornucopia. This is a horn, and the poppy is this second picture, which is a flower. They were alike, both dealt with fertility. And in addition, Ceres was also worshipped with the earth goddess, and also rites for the dead, which Demeter was not. So that is their difference. Next is Hades or Pluto in the Roman mythology. They are known as the god of the underworld. And in the first picture, this is Hades. The second one is the Pluto planet, one of the planets in the solar system. They are both known as the god of the dead, king of the underworld. And their symbols are royal scepter and cornucopia. Their sacred animals are screech owl, and sacred plants are asphodel, mint, and white poplar. Their retinue is the judges of the dead, and the Erinyes, and lastly the Cerberus, the three-headed dog that are guarding the underworld. Hades is quite to the contrary. He was just reliable ruler, but he got a bad name just because he wasn't in the habit of allowing people to leave his kingdom and return to earth. So this is the example in the first picture. This is the example of asphodel. Next is the mint, and lastly the white poplar. Next goddess Athena, and her equivalent in the Roman mythology is Minerva. They are both known as the goddess of wisdom. In the first picture, this is Athena, and the second one is the sign of Minerva in the Roman mythology. They are both known as the goddess of wisdom, war, weaving, and crops. And their symbols are Aegis and Gorgonion. This is the shield that consists of the head of Medusa. Minerva and Athena also have a sacred animal, which is owl, and then their sacred plant, which is the olive tree. In the first picture, this is the olive tree, and followed by the picture of the Gorgonion, embedded with Medusa's head, because Medusa was beheaded by Perseus, and Perseus gave Medusa's head to Athena. Minerva and Athena were kind of different from one another, because Minerva, in the Roman mythology, was more known as the goddess of art and crops, while on the other hand, in the Greek mythology, Athena is more known as the goddess of war and tactics. Next is the god Apollo, and in the Roman mythology, he is still called as Apollo. He is the god of music and medicine. Also, he is the god of prophecy, healing, and archery. His symbols are lyre and bow. In every picture, we can see him holding a lyre and bow, and also he is a good-looking man. Sacred animals is swan and raven, and his sacred plant are laurel, larkspur, and cypress. So what are larkspur and cypress? The larkspur is this first picture, the flower. Then the second one is the cypress, the tall trees.